What is People Playground? It's a 2D sandbox game without any predefined rules. Press play, you pick a map, and you're inside it. You're not obligated to do anything beyond that point. You're technically already playing the game. Even the lights turn on by themselves. But the map's empty. A bit too empty. You look to the spawn menu. Aha! A human, you think? In the voice of an unemployed 28-year-old Indian man, for some reason. I don't know. You're kinda weird. You spawn him. His feet greet the floor with a gregarious tunk. He just stands there, expressionless, awaiting his fate. You don't have to harm him, but somehow you can't help yourself. For as radiant as the lights at the top of the map may be, it's not enough to rid the darkness that envelops your cruel heart. Besides, he must be incredibly bored. He clearly needs some excitement in his life, and on second thought, he's probably not staring into the distance. Maybe he's looking right at you instead. Maybe he's giving you some filthy stink eye, judging you menacingly. You're not going to simply just let him get away with that, are you? Of course not. And now that we're done justifying murder, it's time for you to find out exactly just in how many ways you can kill ragdolls in this game, which, I should say, is basically what People Playground is all about. But before we get to murderizing this little fella, or big fella, depends upon how close you keep the camera to him, let me take you on a tour of the game. The first amongst the multitude of spawn categories in this game are entities. In it, you've got your standard ragdoll, which can't really endure much. Whatever you choose to do to them, it's not too soon before they're reduced to a pile of brittle bones. Sticks and stones may break his bones, but they'll never break his spirit. Actually scratch that. Spirit Ragdoll says that they definitely broke him. Then we've got androids. This is what happens after you put an iPhone in lava, and this is what happens after you put an Android in lava. Perfectly fine. Makes me wonder why people still buy from Apple. I put it in a small room with the most powerful bomb in the game. Well, the android's still here, but the bomb isn't. Besides being capable guinea pigs, your ragdolls are also capable of walking, sitting, cowering, and pretending to be drunk. Actually, I'm not sure if they're pretending. Guess we'll find out if they choose to text their ex at 2 AM or not. Another organic creature in this game is the goss. It spits on ragdolls out of pure disgust. Coincidentally, it also happens to be my spirit animal. Good point. There's also 3 types of turrets, which also eviscerate ragdolls. Coincidentally, all 3 of them happen to be my spirit machinery. After entities, there's melee weapons. There's standard ones like these, and then there's ones with special abilities. Yes, this chainsaw is special because it doesn't actually saw through wood. If this were used in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the film would instead have to be renamed as Texas Chainsaw Disappointment. But fortunately, there is a weapon that lives up to its name in this game, and it's the lightsaber. Wait, it's actually called the energy sword? I think I'm just gonna call it lightsaber at home. There's also a power hammer, which releases shockwaves upon impact. Well, most of the time. Order! I want the chicken McNuggets. Chop! Or should I say, slam! You just know they don't get paid enough for this. Then there's also the worm staff, released in collaboration with Mutated All 2. I mean, why start the decomposition process 6 feet under when you can just do this instead? It will give the guest at your funeral a longer time to say goodbye, and may or may not turn them off spaghetti for the rest of their lives. In Russia, noodle eat you! Now it's time to check out ranged weapons. Again, there's standard ones, such as these, which can be made special by adding attachments to them, such as a scope to increase accuracy. But it won't help with all the Cheeto dust on your mousepad. If these bullets are starting to look appetizing to you, then you should seriously consider cleaning that. A capacitor to put bullets into ragdolls and to also give them an X-ray to save them from the procedure when they have to visit the hospital after this because of what I'm doing to them right now. How benevolent of me! An attachment that makes your bullets explosive, an attachment that makes your bullets incendiary, a laser attachment for blind gamers, and finally, a flashlight. Unlike a camera, you have to say Swiss cheese before this tool takes a shot at you. Beam and blaster rifles. 6 cannons. I really love the VFX added to them. A flamethrower and a fire extinguisher. A grenade launcher. The iron cannon. The pulse drum. It's good at pushing people away. I think I've been using this my entire adult life without even realizing it. A target-seeking missile launcher. It's fun to tease it. the Emperor Palpatine simulator, a stun gun, a microwave gun, a freeze ray, a healing gun with an oddly satisfying sound effect, and the Emperor Palpatine simulator yet again. Somehow it returned. Now let's move on to explosives, which include the atom bomb. It's pretty powerful, and it proves that Snoop Dogg isn't the only one capable of making clouds out of mushrooms. The fusion bomb, which is the most powerful bomb in the game. Dynamite, an EMP generator which disables all nearby electronics, including itself, and even the Emperor Palpatine simulator. Somehow, it keeps returning. The absolute menace, the energy vessel explosive, fireworks, landmines, and what better way to greet the sweet embrace of death rather than with lollipop grenades? Next we've got vehicles, which include buses, sedans, trailers with random skins, an extremely powerful hovercraft, tanks, got your nose. P.S. Tanks really do not like it when you got their noses. Trucks and bicycles. It makes getting exercise look really depressing for some reason. Next we've got chemistry, which includes syringes, which contain less-eating acid, a chemical that eats your bones, death serum, zombie serum, and an ultra-strength serum, so that your eyeball won't dismember while you take the frustration of all your life's worth of failures out on it. Yeah, this is my life that we're talking about. We're going to be here for a while. The chemistry tab also includes flasks which allow you to fill your ragdoll up with acid. After this trip, you'll wake up in hell. Fill your ragdoll up with oil. Yes, even without fast food. And even fill your ragdoll up with nitroglycerin. Wait, does that mean... Why yes, that does mean. Next we're going to take a look at miscellaneous items, which includes all sorts of random stuff like brittle walls made of different materials, a bowling set. Wait, they were in a straight line in a two-dimensional space and yet I still managed to miss two of them? Ugh. Stupid. Furniture, bulletproof seats to protect you from assassins who want to kill you while you're asleep. They don't work very well actually. A clamp, tree, large bush, small bush, metal and wooden beams, and window panes. A pane that doesn't change structure when resized. A ramp. Bruh. A working TV. Die maar 130 meter hoog is en heel stuk in de schaduw. Man, he stole the words right out of my mouth. Dwayne Johnson's baby. He is such an irresponsible daddy. Wheels and shapes for constructions. A jukebox which plays classical music. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. And finally, massive weights, anchors, and your mom. Just kidding. This is way too heavy to be here. And finally, under machinery is where we have the most complicated items such as the blood tank, which can drain blood or inject fluids into your ragdoll, a boat motor, conveyor belts, which go absolutely berserk if you spawn and activate them together. The feelings that these belts would have conveyed to their respective therapists would have been rather grim. A decimator, which consumes anything in its path and can be overcharged to turn into a black hole. Fire, motion, and life detectors. An electromagnet, also known as an Indian local train. Giant fans and propellers. I use them as Beyblades. All sorts of lights. Generators, which can overcharge just about any electronics. Laser pointers. See? Your parents were right about them. A launcher platform. A shower head. He really hate sours. Particle projectors, a fizz gun from Half-Life 2. I'm giving him an atomic wedgie right now. A piston, a bigger piston. A rotor with a customizable speed. A siren, a Tesla coil which attempts to fry anything in the vicinity, including other Tesla coils, text displays, thrusters, and hoverboards. Did the complete opposite of what it was supposed to be doing. This one looks like the dome of the Capitol building. Oopsie. Guess they're going to have to call it the lowercase building now. A winch which is giving me massive insecurity right about now. And many more mechanical items which can be used to make all sorts of contraptions. Now it's time to check out the maps. There's 14 of them. We've got tiny, small, default, and humongous. What? Which are just different sizes of the same empty map. Then there's Abyss, which is just a rectangular map with a deep dark hole. Brad and Arm have got nothing on this bit. Then there's Blocks, which is a giant square with blocks floating in the air. There's Slanted, Snow, Tower, Lava, and Sea maps. There's also the Hybrid map, which gives you the best of both worlds. Well, actually, it's mostly the sea and just a teeny bit of lava. I don't know. Lava must be expensive or something. Void, which is literally nothing. You can still pause the game, spawn stuff in here, and pin it to the wall. Not ragdolls though. There's Substructure, which has a pool, a shower area, classroom, and long ventilation areas which you can force your ragdoll to crawl through so that you can do a die-hard RP or multiple die-hard RPs, whatever floats your boat. Now let's move on to tools. You've got your regular cursor, which allows you to drag and rotate objects. Tornado! Don't stand in front of this guy when I'm done with him, or he just might empty his guts out on you. Okay, never mind, you can stand in front of him now. Wires include blood transfusion tubes, ropes, copper wires, pipes, wooden struts, wires that work on different channels, destructible and indestructible cables, springs, bandages for when you're done playing with the springs, pins, mechanical belts, and finally, phase links, which allows you to clip objects to each other. My die-hard RP is going a lot more smoother now. Now let's take a look at powers. There's Pull, which creates a mini black hole. Push, which repulses everything in a small radius. So basically me on every dating app. Lightning, which strikes more than twice. Lift, which makes everything fly. Well, not permanently, of course. And finally, fireballs. Something that I really liked about this game is the context menu. You can select one or multiple items at the same time, right click on them and delete, copy, paste, follow, and so much more. The settings in this game also allow you to look at all the mayhem that you've caused. The settings also allow you to change the physics and go in this game. And if everything I've shown you in this video wasn't enough to sell you on it, then here's the game's Steam Workshop, which is its main selling point. There's 500,000 user-generated add-ons available. Wow, I don't get paid enough to show anyone 500,000 of anything. Maybe in another video. Have fun browsing through them yourself. So that was more or less everything that I found interesting about this game. If you want to see another review of a ragdoll game, then check out my review for Mutilated All too. Thank you for watching and do subscribe for more reviews of ragdoll games. I've been Jadif, you've been my audience. Goodbye.